gym trainers. I'm your host, Gym Leader Mia, where you can earn the Crystal Badge. Today we're going to have a Pokemon Chit Chat episode, and why would that be? Because quite a couple of months has passed since I last did a Pokemon video, but we'll get onto that. And I thought kind of to catch up on all of that and to give my opinion on those things that have happened the last couple of months. So we are heading to the Galar region, or the Galar region, or just the Monica and Ross Galar region. But we are heading to that region at the end of the year. The Swish starters were announced, and yes, I'm going to call it Swish because Sword and Shield, and I don't like the whole like SS thing because I'm like, no, that is Soul Silver. That will always be Soul Silver. Great game. I don't usually let my game be strongly indicated by the starter that I choose. I'm usually more interested in the other type of Pokemon that we'll see. Getting to the next controversial topic, National Dex. Come on guys, chill out. I've actually been distancing myself a little bit from Twitter because it's just been so overwhelming. I get it. We all adore different Pokemon and we want to see them in these new games. We've been wanting to see them on a new console for such a long time. But they will get there. Just the same as when the DS came out, the 3DS, Gen 6. Sometimes, first game's introduced, a certain amount of Pokemon, that's their Pokédex. And then things like Pokemon Bank and all in the next games come out. So let's say when we get Diamond and Pearl remakes, then they all get put in together. It's not a problem, it shouldn't be a problem, don't worry about it. Please do not worry about this. I was really stressed out with studying for exams, doing assignments, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have an off night. All I'm gonna do is I'm going to go through all the trailers of Sword and Shield we've gotten so far and write down which Pokemon we will actually be getting or which Pokemon we've seen in the trailers. And there are already over, I think I counted like 160 if you include their evolutions, with quite a good spread across the different regions, because I actually did like a little breakdown of okay, how many were first introduced in Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, and it's a pretty good spread so far, especially of Unova Pokemon. That surprised me a little bit, but then when I think about it, well, if it's a European, UK, Great Britain type feel to it, well then it makes sense that the Pokemon in Unova that they could have originated from the Galar region. And I can't wait, and I really hope this happens, that there's some correspondence with Kalos, or that we can go back to Kalos, because it's just such a beautiful region and it would look amazing to explore on the Nintendo Switch. There hasn't been a lot of native Galar Pokemon, so even if we get just 30 or 40 more Galar Pokemon, well, that's already a Pokédex that's well over 300, given that, again, they wouldn't have shown all the Pokemon that they have in the decks already. Not such a big fan of Dynamax. I think it looks a bit weird. The whole point is to roleplay you following this adventure with this little creature and that whole journey of friendship and self-discovery. But with them having this like super size situation, it makes you feel like you're in a game. So how I'm gonna think about it is you and your Pokemon go into a gym and you enter kind of a simulator, which makes it seem like the Pokemon are becoming huge. No, I'll probably get used to it. I'm a little bit bummed out that we don't get Mega Evolution again. I do hope that if we one day, once upon a dream, get Sinnoh remakes, that Mega Evolution would come back, or that they actually have like they put it to the fans and say, well, what would you like to be brought back from the older games? What mechanic? And yes, I think that I'm going to skip out on the whole conversation about the Nintendo Switch Lite, because another bucket of worms. It doesn't affect me. I can totally see the appeal of it. I do think it's priced a bit high for what it is, but I can totally see its place in the console universe. To me, it doesn't really help because I like the fact that the Switch can dock. Not because I play it on the television, but because it's easier to capture footage on a capture card like that. But that's a content creator's preference. I've been using said Switch over the last couple of months, and I haven't had a lot of time to play for hours, but every now and again in the study break or so, I'll take the opportunity and I'll try out a lot of demos and other games, and I managed to also get a few game reviews, so there will definitely be some game reviews coming soon. It's hard to get into a new franchise, and I've been looking into a JRPG series called Atelier, and another one, and you anime fans will know of the Fate series, and that it's this big rabbit hole, and I decided, why not? But more on that on a later stage, so look out for reviews on Atelier and Fate. And then I traded in Breath of the Wild to buy Cadence of Hyrule. I have no regrets whatsoever. And then I recently bought Horborn Special, which I don't know much about it, but it looks interesting and I want to play it. So maybe getting back to where I have been. So in Australia we get floods and fires and all kinds of natural disasters all the time. This particular year we didn't get a cyclone in cyclone season, we actually had a 1 in 100 year flooding event. So that was pretty serious. So while the event was happening, everything was fine. We didn't get affected, but in the aftermath, the insurance company actually came through and said, well, you guys will have to move because we need to replace all your ceilings, all your floors, which, because I live with my grandparents and a menagerie of animals, that was quite a complicated task, especially because there was a shortage of houses in the place that I live due to the flooding, because some people's houses were almost completely underwater. It was really scary but quite fascinating at the same time to see on television. So they went, my mum works in the outback somewhere, it doesn't really matter. They went with half of the animals over there. I stayed somewhere else with my Amazon bird Neggy, and he's adorable, and the lizard Flash, but he's been asleep. He's still asleep. He will be asleep until the end of August, possibly October. I'm also in my 3rd year of speech pathology, which a 6th year medical student said to me like, oh wow, that's a really tough year at uni, which yes made me want to cry. I didn't, but it is a really hard semester, 3rd year first semester, because we have part-time work, which is clinic, which is our placement during semester, and then still a full-time study load. So it was really hectic. My lecturers were amazing in giving me some extensions and really being supportive, which I can't thank them enough, but that really didn't leave me any time to be working on channel content for you guys, and I feel really bad for that. I kind of made up for that in a little way. I started up an Instagram account, and I've never had Instagram before, so if you would like to interact more with me and the type of content that I create, I would recommend going to follow me. But that's where I post photos of cosplays I'm working on. It's a lot of times it's themed cosplays or closet cosplays rather than specific characters. But you guys know I like doing Trainer Leaf, and we had a photo shoot at uni which was super fun. There was a Jump Force tournament which was so much hype, like the amount of people that were cheering, you'd think we were at a sports match actually cheering on people. It was an amazing crowd, and it's little things like that that really boosted my morale. So definitely, yeah, go check out Instagram. It's not just cosplay stuff. I just like taking beautiful pictures of places, and even now, like, I'm in regional Victoria, which is the opposite side of the country, and yes, I go into Melbourne like once or twice a week, but I guess I like traveling and my own little Pokemon adventure, which is why I always have my Switch with me, or my DS, or my Game Boy. And I like taking photos of those things, my animals, and then yeah, just some interesting bits and pieces. So go and follow me on there. On Twitter, I'm sort of like coming and going at the moment, just because a lot of my friends in the time zone that they're in, I'm really sorry, and I miss you guys so much. I really do. I miss hanging out on Twitter and Discord and in people's streams. It's just been busy. And thank you so much for sticking with me over the last couple of months. And you know, whenever I said, look guys, things are really stressful, being that little gambare squad that said, you know, it's fine. So I really do appreciate that. And then of course we had Detective Pikachu. Now I actually have my Detective Pikachu cards that I got because I went to some of the first showings that they had in Australia. Okay, I've been on the Detective Pikachu hype train since it was announced. I loved the fact that it wasn't going to be actually telling the whole you get a Pokemon, you go on a journey, gym battles, like, we've had that, we know that. Can they still make a successful movie out of it? Of course! But that wasn't particularly what I wanted to see, and I love that whole direction that they went with. We're gonna make Detective Pikachu. Warner Brothers is gonna help us make it, and it's gonna be a little bit edgy, because that makes sense for the demographic that would be like as old as I am now, like 90s kids. And the whole Deadpool Pikachu, well, you know what? I never cared enough about Deadpool to think of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, even to think of Deadpool Pika. Some things that I thought were a little bit cringy, but overall, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I've already watched it a few times, and I just feel like they breathed life into the Pokemon world. And I mean, what more could we have asked for? And there was such a diversity of different Pokemon. We didn't just see the original 151, which I thoroughly commend. Game Freak, Nintendo, Warner Brothers, like anyone and everyone that worked on the movie, well done. You actually managed to not just use the original 151. Amazing. And people loved it. So, since it's a Pokemon Chit Chat episode, we are going to be opening some cards. So first up, we have this little pamphlet with a smiling little Detective Pikachu. He's so adorable. And that's saying something from my side, because I'm not such a big Pikachu fan. But yeah, that's just a little insert. I don't know if you guys got it overseas, but this is what we got in Australia. Ooh, we got a reverse holo Detective Pikachu. It's so cute how he's like low-key addicted to caffeine. And oh, nice. Oh, look at his little feet. Look at his little feet. It's so adorable. We have a double of him, and then we have Morlul. Again, a Pokemon that I was very surprised actually made it. And then this one is also just a double of what we had before. So not a great variety that we managed to pull, but one of my friends had the little like really angry little Snubble, and then Psyduck, or as my grandpa said, Spyduck, which in this case is actually the case. I guess they're kind of spies. So let me know, what games have you been playing the last couple of months? Are you still excited for Sword and Shield? Have you maintained your hype? Let me know what other games you may have been playing, maybe on Steam, Xbox or PlayStation. Let the battle for the Crystal Badge begin.